So, guys, Terence Crawford versus Victor Postol was this weekend on HBO pay per view in America and GM Grand. So, I'm going to talk about that fight and some of the undercard fights. Let's start from the bottom to top and kind of go with the slightly less meaningful fights to the main event. Ryota Murata, he's a Japanese middleweight prospect. He's been fast tracked. I think he won gold in 2012. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I know he's a medalist, a 2012 medalist. He won by first round KO over a guy's name who I'm not gonna even bother pronouncing because it's gonna go horribly wrong. But yeah, he won by first round stoppage. He looks decent. I mean, Murata, he's good, but I heard him calling out Billy Joe Saunders next. Surprisingly, he's going off. Sorry, unsurprisingly, he's going after Billy Joe Saunders with Golovkin holding all the other belts in the middleweight division. So, let's see where that goes. Top Rank and Frank Warren. Let's see if that fight can be made. I'm not sure if he's ranked by the WBO, but we'll wait and see. I'd pick Billy Joe Saunders as of right now in that fight. Just think Billy Joe. Has faced better opponents. Has got a lot more pro experience. He's been a hard 12 rounds. He's very slick, awkward, a lot of angles. So yeah, I'd say Billy Joe Saunders wins that fight as of right now. But we'll see as Murata possibly gets a better level of competition. How he fares. Um, Moving on, Jose Benavidez for Francisco Santana. Close fight. I had Benavidez winning, just by shading a few rounds, just due to the kind of cleaner work. But I wouldn't have been surprised if some people picked Francisco Santana to win. Good sort of rough and tumble action. You know, get what you expect. Benavidez was sitting a lot on the ropes, which was not great to see. But he was picking his shots, so if it worked for him, then fair play. But he was moving up to welterweight in this fight, and I think he's had some injuries and trouble making 140. I think he was the interim WBA champion at 140, so he's obviously let that go and moved up to welterweight. Some interesting matches. Jesse Vargas might be an interesting fight since they're both with top rank. I'd like to see that fight, but against the other sort of top guys, Keith Thurman, I don't think he can beat those sort of guys. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Kel Brook, Amir Khan. I wouldn't pick Benavidez over those sort of names. Um, Moving up, Alexander Vodchik. I think he's the light heavyweight Olympic medalist. He beat Tommy Karpency in 6 rounds. As I said, Vodchik. I was actually very high, and I do apologize if the pronunciation is wrong. Just in advance, but yeah, he was very very good after the first round scare. He got knocked down pretty hard by Karpency, who's not known as a big puncher. So yeah, that was pretty surprising to see. But he done well. He dominated the rest of the fight. He got a 6 round stoppage over Game Carpensi, and yeah, let's see where he moves on from here. They're talking Stevenson. Uh, let's see if that fight can be made. Stevenson versus him would be a very good fight. Don't know who I'd pick just yet, but yeah, very good fight. Stevenson, ironically, is actually fighting this Friday against Thomas Williams Jr., who had a really good fight against Edwin Rodriguez recently. And Elado Alvarez is the mandatory, who's also on the card. He's supposed to fight Chad Dawson, but Chad Dawson's injured. So some good sort of things happening in the light heavyweight division. I wouldn't pick Vodchik against uh, Sergey Kovalev or Andre Ward. I don't think he's good enough to beat those two. They're for me they're the two best in the division by far. Stevenson's still quite a way behind them, even though he's the WBC and lineal light heavyweight champion. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on Vodchik. Oscar Valdez won in 2 rounds against Matthias Adrian Rueda, I think. I think that's the guy he was facing, the guy with a high knockout ratio. He beat him, quite comfortably. He did look wild at times. I will say that. A few punches missing. I don't know if that was Raider just trying to, move and keep away from Oscar Valdez, his big power punches. But at times he did look wild, and just needs to kind of sort that out moving up. But he's certainly a very, very good fighter. He's one of the top featherweight fighters, I'd say, out there. And he'd give anyone problems at 126. Leo Santa Cruz, Lee Selby, Santa Cruz, and Frampton are actually fighting this Saturday as well. So he'd give either of them problems. Lee Selby, as I said, Gary Russell Jr. would be a very, very good fight. But the boxing politics might keep that fight from happening. Even though Al Heyman and Bob Arum are starting to work together a bit more, but hopefully that fight, one of those fights, can be made. Very, very interesting prospect is world champion now is Oscar Valdez. Um, and I will say Oscar Valdez. I do think he's got the potential to be probably the top featherweight fighter at the moment in the current active sort of boxers. Lee Selby's got a few holes. He can be out slicked at times. I think, as shown in the Eric Hunter fight. Gary Russell Jr. Very, very fast hands, but tends to be a bit slow on his feet. Kind of reminds me of Adrian Broner. Leo Santa Cruz has a high punch output and comes forward and is big for the weight, but can he be boxed from range? Possibly, even though he has the range and he has the reach. Can he be boxed from range? Can he be taken out? Has he got a good chin? We don't know any of that from Leo Santa Cruz. He hasn't faced the best of opposition apart from Abner Mares. Abner Mares. Um, and Frampton is just stepping up in weight. I don't think he's going to be successful against Leo Santa Cruz. I'll explain why in a separate video this week. But yeah, that's I think Oscar Valdez is a serious player in the featherweight division at the moment. He's really a top fighter and double Olympian. So yeah, let's see how far he goes. On to the main event: Victor Postol versus Terence Crawford. I have to say first and foremost, hats off to Bud Crawford. He was fantastic on the night. I scored the fight a complete shutout, 120-105 actually. So I didn't give Victor Postol any rounds. But I have to say Postol was terrible. He was absolutely horrendous. I don't know if this is a Freddie Roach sort of game plan as usual, no plan B, but it just reeked of Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, or off the top of my head, Scott Quigg versus Carl Frampton. It was just no plan B, absolutely no plan B, and Victor Postol looked awful. I mean, you know what they say, he has one of the best jabs in the business. I even said he had a very good jab. He's got to learn. He's got to learn a serious sort of jab from someone like a Kubrat Pulev, and I don't even rate Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev gets his punches away, doubles up the jab, triples up the jab. He'll go to the body. Victor Postol let his game get completely neglected from Terence Crawford, and I think that was much more factor than Terence Crawford just moving. Terence Crawford was fantastic, but I think Victor Postol and Freddie Roach, to his credit, to be fair, he did say, double up the jab, try and get inside, do this. I was actually watching the American version. I wasn't watching the Box Nation coverage of it because I watched it the day after the day after because I was working. But yeah, I just mean to say, like, Postol really kind of contributed to his heavy loss for me on the scorecards. He obviously got knocked down twice in the fifth. I think it was. The first one flash knockdown. Second one was a bit more, slightly more definitive. And I will say about the American commentary, they were absolutely on Terence Crawford's, you know, back. They did not give Postol anything, and you could tell they were clearly pro Crawford. But yeah, so we complain about their the commentary over here. Jim Watt has retired actually, so you know, congrats to him, best of luck. But he was getting up there in age, and his commentary was, you know, sliding for a fair while. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we do complain about the commentary over here, but it was very bad in this fight, the American commentary. But Crawford, you know, he was very slick. I have to give it to him. He was very slick. He done what he had to do. You know, he was just really, really awkward, and he kept moving, and he just did not give Victor Postol anything in the fight. No matter how bad Postol was, he really he made him look like a rookie in the ring. And you know, as I said, that will really contribute to people maybe avoiding Crawford later on down the line. I'm certainly not on the bandwagon. I still think he needs to work on a few things. He has great lateral movement and upper body movement, that sort of stuff, but his head movement's still a bit lacking for me. He does duck some punches and that sort of stuff. Like he goes down, he'll avoid, but that's mainly his shoulders. Possibly, I'd say he doesn't have the shoulder roll, but he'll you know, he'll move and he can change stances and that sort of stuff. I still think he does get hit. Even Postol hit him a few times, and I wouldn't. He took it quite well. I wouldn't say he has a bad chin or anything, but you know, moving up past the sort of Victor Postol level. Victor Postol is a very, very good fighter in his own right at 140, but you're moving up to the top fighters, you know, in the sport. If you're moving up to the sort of 154, 147 top fighters, Keith Thurman, you know, I think he could probably do well against them, but there'll be gaping holes in his defense. I think he still needs to fix on certain aspects. Maybe that's just me being really, really nitpicky, but you know, that is just me, I guess. But yeah, Crawford is a serious, serious fighter. They're talking about Manny Pacquiao next. I think he'd deal with Manny Pacquiao, you know, pretty well at this stage in Pac-Man's career. So we have to wait and see, really. Crawford, obviously, I don't know what the pay-per-view numbers were. So as soon as I get a sniff of that, I will let you guys know. But, you know, I think they took a loss to really further his career in this one. Where Crawford goes, as I said, Pac-Man next, possibly. You know, 147 maybe. I don't know. He looked okay at the weight, but you know, he's very, very. He seems not skinny, but he seems like quite lean. I think he cuts down quite a bit to get to 140. So eventually, I think he need to move up to 147. But yeah, we'll wait and see. He's he's certainly on the pound for pound list. I'd say towards, you know, the lower middle bit. But as I said, not beating Postol and Gamboa, does it really warrant you being on a pound for pound list really, really high? I don't think he's in the top, you know, top three just yet or anything like that. You know, as I said, Pac-Man possibly next. If he beats him, he can go much higher. And if he gets a few more really, really credible names, certainly. Uh, Currently unified WBC, WBO champion. So yeah, let's see how far he goes from there. He's still got plenty of time. He's young. He's fresh, and I think he's improving all the time probably. So yeah, let's see how far he goes. I'm certainly interested to see where he goes in his career, and he'll definitely be you know, a top level fighter in the coming years. Let me know your thoughts on and as I said, not jumping on the bandwagon just yet, but yeah, it'll be a journey with Terence Crawford. Let's put it that way. Um, and actually, someone put it on the comment section of one video. I did think that they said who Lomachenko or Crawford. I'd pick Lomachenko at the moment in terms of you know, who I prefer at the moment. I think Lomachenko is amazing. Some of the things he does, very, very, very advanced. So is Crawford, but you know, I think Lomachenko just he's on another planet. Like he's really, really elite, and yeah, I mean that's just my thoughts on that. I'm rambling on now. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on Crawford Postol, the undercard. Anything else that happened, you know, to do with the card, please do let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please give the thumbs up. I won't be doing a live stream tonight, unfortunately, because I'm at work. but I probably will get one done to hear everyone else's thoughts on sometime this week. But we'll we'll get let you guys know and keep you updated on that. Uh, yeah. Anything else? Just comment. Uh, all that good stuff. Subscribe and share so it gets out to a larger boxing audience. And yeah, I'll take care and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.